Excellent afternoon, marvelous evening, and wonderful morning. This is Carla from Rehan, Allahwala's World of Connections. And today I am here to speak with Shahid Habid, who is now living in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, which I know very little about. And he's going to tell us about his work and his passions. And if he wants to add something about his life, that's perfectly fine too. Having said that, I want to remind you that this show, like all of my shows, is sponsored by Rehan Allahwala's World of Connections, and more importantly, the Institute of Peace, which we promote peace with every conversation we do. Shahid, will you please introduce yourself?
First of all, thank you very much, Carla, for having me, for inviting on this discussion. And I highly appreciate your initiative for creating a higher level of communication amongst the global citizen. And being a teacher, what we are so far is only due to our teachers and their significant role over there. So I salute your efforts. Now, my name is Rana Shahid Habib, and I am working as an advisor with the Saudi Central Banks for last 14 years. My home country is Pakistan, and I have been working here since 14 years, and my key roles are including the financial and accounting management, the governance, risk management, and the overall supervision of the banking sector in the Saudi Arabia. Other than that, my personal family consists of my only one wife, and I had one daughter and son. So other than that, I'm with respect to my academic qualification and professional qualification, I'm a chartered accountant by profession. I did my chartered accountancy from the Pakistan Institute of Chartered Accountant of Pakistan. I completed my articleship mandatory 4 years period, which is required to be appear in the exams for chartered accounting for KPMG. And KPMG is one of the biggest out of the big four accounting and auditing firms in the world. Thereafter, I had been, work for many banks in different roles. I have been the head of risk management. I have been worked as a head of the internal audit. Now, just I would like to share with you that the role of accountants has been tremendously changed over the years, because historically, the accountants were responsible to capture the transactions, record them in a structured way, then consolidate them and produced a format of reports, which is generally or known as financial statements. And these financial statements are the key, input for the decision makers by the government authorities, by the banks, by the lenders, by the shareholders, and so on and so forth. But over the years, due to the, high competition and emerging trends into the business, including banking industry, including other, businesses and commerce, trade, agriculture, the involvement of IT input has been tremendously increased. So that has also need or demand a role need to be changed for the traditional accountants. So what they need to do is that they had to now step up their role from just preparing the financial statements, and they need to develop and help the overall management to achieve their medium-term, short-term, and long-term objectives. How they can achieve this? They have to analyze the market, and they have to look out of their own organization and see the future. So they need to move and focus from the historical analysis to the future forecast, where their businesses will be. For example, 5 years or 10 years ago, those banks were considered big who has large number of branches. But now the number of branches are eliminating. The banks are reducing the number of branches because we all, that we have rarely visited the bank. A lot of banking activity being done on the telephone, on cell phones, or on our computers. So this is how all the industries are being changing. So that changing role need an enhanced or expanded role of the financial advisors also. So the financial advisors, now just would like to share with you what are the emerging challenges for the financial advisors of the industry who is initially just focusing on the accounting and record and bookkeeping activities. Now the environment is a big activity. And environmental challenges are being faced by a lot of industries, including the banking. And those environmental changes has been affecting different countries differently. Carbon emission has been there. So they are affecting the crops. They are affecting the industries who are using these crops as an input. They are affecting the financiers who are producing the finance to those industries. So everything has been changed. So that changing environment need a change in the role of all the sectors, including the financial executives and officers. Another important is the role of the information technology. Now we are talking to each other with the help of this application, Zoom. So it was not possible 20 years ago, because at that time, the IT role was not being utilized by the common man in its day-to-day businesses and household activities. So these are the issues which are emerging now. Due to these activities, the risks are also emerging. Cybersecurity risk, we have been hearing that the data are being hacked, it is being manipulated, phishing activity has been, expanding. So all these emerging issues are need to be tackled so that our business would, focus on the sustainability. And it has a path, long-term roadmap, so that we should not have the more bumps if we don't focus on the future outlook. So these are the just emerging issues. Now I would like to request you, Carla, if you want me to expand on any point, I will be happy to share.
Well, let's go back to who you are and your life so people know who you are. What made you move from Pakistan to Saudi Arabia?
Right. Okay. So I born in Karachi. Karachi is the financial capital of Pakistan, and Pakistan is the fifth or sixth largest country with respect to population in the world. We had 220 million people, and Karachi is the biggest city of Pakistan. It has 220 million population. My brought up was there. I get my schooling over there. Then I moved to the accountancy field. There I then qualified as an accountant there. Then I worked with the KPMG for 6 years. Then I moved to different banks in Pakistan, including the Mashriq Bank, there is Askari Bank. And then in 2009, I have been contacted by the headhunting firms for the vacancies in Saudi Arabian Central Bank. So when I interviewed, a number of interviews first held at Pakistan, and then I was asked for an interview with the governor here in Saudi Arabia. So I was selected, and then I joined Saudi Arabian Monetary Agency. So it was a wonderful experience for me, for learning, for understanding. Then the Saudi Arabian Central Bank nominate me for the Basel Committee. Basel Committee is actually a standard setting body which set standards for the banks internationally, how they need to run their operations. Then there is after 2008 and 9 financial crisis, there was another body established by the IMF, World Bank, and Basel Committee, and IASCO, and the name of this body is Financial Stability Board. So I was also representing Saudi Arabia in certain committees of the Basel Committee and Financial Stability Board. Just go back to the Pakistan. So Pakistan is, I had a great memories with me for Pakistan. Pakistan is a very beautiful country. You know, if you see its landscape, it has a diversified landscape. It has a deserts over there. You will find in June and July, you will find the freezing ice and the mountains over there. Out of the 8 highest or 10 highest mountains in the world, 8 are in the Pakistan. So K2, the most difficult, the peak to be captured by the mountaineers, is also in Pakistan. So it's a beautiful country. Its capital is Islamabad. Islamabad is one of the beautiful capital in the world. I have been in Washington also, but if you have the chance to visit Pakistan, the landscape of Islamabad is like that. There is a mountain, just a series of mountains. It's called Margala Hills. And on the bottom of those mountains, this capital is being established. So you will see just a piece of cake lying over there in the grass meadows. So it's a beautiful capital having the full beauty of nature along with the developed infrastructure as per the modern requirements. So another city of Pakistan is Lahore. My in-laws are in Lahore. So Lahore is famous for its culture. It's a very old city, maybe 1,000 years old city. It has a lot of historical places, the largest mosque, the largest fort. Then they had a huge, the first metro train in Pakistan. The infrastructure of Lahore has been one of the best in the region also. It has a motorways, it has all the metro trains, it has the very good infrastructure for communication. And it is the capital of one of the province of Pakistan. Pakistan consists of 5 geographical regions, and each region is termed as a province. These are the 5 regions. One of them is the biggest one with respect to population is Punjab. It has around 110 million population. And then the largest province with respect to the area is Balochistan. That is less populated, but it consists of desert. And now, and it has a seaside also. So the Pakistan has 2 famous ports. One is at Karachi and other is at Gwadar. And and then Pakistan has been producing a large number of crops. Nature is full of natural resources. You will see that the mangoes of Pakistan, famous in the world, one of the best exporter of mangoes, cotton, wheat. The biggest contribution in the exports of Pakistan is the textile sector. It contributes around 60% of the total exports of Pakistan, which is based upon the textile. So these, if you see into the international brands, you will see that a lot of items over there will be made in Pakistan. So Pakistan is a big exporter of ready-made garments in hosieries and accessories. And then the handicrafts of Pakistan are very famous across the globe. Around 5% of the population of Pakistan has been working overseas and has been serving in various capacities across the globe. A large community of Pakistani doctors has their presence in the USA. And in Saudi Arabia, there's around 1.2 million Pakistanis serving in different fields in Saudi Arabia. With respect to the defense, Pakistan has the best armed forces. And with respect to its relationship with the international friends, Pakistan has very good relationship with all the European countries, USA, Asian countries, and Pakistan has a very common culture with India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, because that region has the same culture, how they marriages, how they raise their children, their commonalities in the languages. Another thing, Pakistan has a multilingual country. It has around around maybe 10 or 15 languages are spoken in different regions of the country. The foods of Pakistan are very good because maybe I will be a little bit biased upon this because that taste has been developed in my woods since the childhood. But the biryani is one of the famous dish in Pakistan, and Pakistan is also the 4th largest exporter of rice in the globe. And these are the some things. If I miss something, please let me know. I can put some light over there.
Now, you seem to really love Pakistan, but and Pakistan has a booming, well, beginning to boom economy. Why is it that, when did you actually leave Pakistan?
I left Pakistan in 2009.
So that's about 14 years ago, correct?
Yep.
What you really love your home country. What made you decide, hey, I'm going to leave and go to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah. Okay. The first thing was I was offered my financial impact. The salary I was offered, the employer at Saudi Arabia, was for maybe 3 times more than what I was earning there. This was the first factor. Secondly, the Muslims have 2 sacred places in Saudi Arabia, and they had a dream to visit them. So once being in Saudi Arabia, you can visit these places whenever you want to do that. So there's a Makkah over there, which Muslims say is the house of Allah. And second is the place where there is the grave of Holy Prophet Muhammad. It's Medina Sharif. So this is another reason. Then secondly, there is a lot of cooperation between these 2 countries in all the fields, in economics. In the recent years of developing the Saudi Arabia, the Pakistani doctors, engineers, and even laborers played a vital role in the development of Saudi Arabia. So being those ties since ground, which may started 40 years ago, still these bondings are there. And so there is a relationship of respect, mutual cooperation, and economic integration between these 2 countries. So that, that push triggered me to move to Saudi Arabia.
How did your family feel about that? Were your kids still with you at that time, or?
Yeah. So the experience in Saudi Arabia is excellent. It's a marvelous experience, because I have been introduced myself with the new culture. That there's a difference in the language, there's a difference in the dressing, and then there's a difference in the foods, and then the schooling, the system of schooling was a bit different. So then I had to, my children, when they did their secondary school or O levels, they need to move. So we have to send them to the UK for further education. So to indulge or gel with the local people was a challenge. But the guys here are very cooperative, and they had a respect for everybody. So what I felt was that when you expand love, you share the olive breeze with the other, then you will find the same response from the other side. So irrespective of the gender or the nationality, the emotion of love, which may not be communicated through the words, if it can even also can be communicated through the body language. So the love, the respect, and cooperation, these are those positive attitudes. If you possess and share with your counterparts, so you will respect, maybe you will, in return, you will get more than that. So I'm very grateful to God that I had found a lot of friends here. Now I feel that I had 2 homes. One is Pakistan, where I was born, and other is this country, Saudi Arabia, where I have been get more matured. I had a more chance during my stay in Saudi Arabia. I was for attending different meetings. So I had visited around maybe 30 countries in the globe, approximately, many times to USA, many times to European countries, even to Malaysia, to Singapore, Hong Kong, and different. So a lot of countries. So by having or working with the Central Bank of Saudi Arabia, I had got a chance to see the world with a bigger lens. It has expanded my level of knowledge. It has, helped me to live with the different culture, with different nationalities. So it has expanded my scope, my mental vision, my understanding the people, my communication. So it's a great experience to work with the Saudi Central Bank.
And you got that job when you were still in Pakistan, correct?
Yeah, yes.
So what was your inspiration to go into banking to begin with?
Yeah. Once I qualified from the accountancy, I saw there were different industries where you can move in. One of them is consultancy, where you can work as a financial consultant. Secondly, you maybe choose to have a tax consultant, or you maybe go to the pharmaceutical industries or that. But what I saw was that all these industries cannot work without money. Money has been acting as a blood in the industries, as the blood has been working in our body. So as our body cannot move without blood, the industries cannot move without money. So I thought, let's go to the heart, who is producing blood to the industry. So I joined the bank to understand how the money works, how it has changed its value, how the inflation started, how it has been, concentrated in certain areas, how it has been expanded, what is its role. So that was one of the motive to understand the international financial system, the role of money in the banking industry, because in the different industries, for example, pharmaceutical, you are producing medicine. In the agriculture industries, you produce agricultural goods and crops and so on and so forth. In the machines and manufacturing industry, you produce certain appliances and so. But in the banking industry, you just play with the money. You get the savings of the industry and people, and then you lend it out to the productive and those areas which cannot be lent. For example, a factory cannot be established just by one person. They need the money. So that money can be produced by the banking industry. And then the banking, as a banking regulator, we are the custodian of the depositors, because this is not our own money, it's the money of the depositors. So that need to be invested in those areas which are after it has been invested, should result into the profit to the bank also. And some profit need to be shared with the depositors also, who has trusted the bank to deposit their money. So that important role I want to understand. And then after spending such a long period in the banking industry, I understand that the banking industry of a country is a key player in overall economics and commerce and other industries development. If some country does not have a strong banking industry, that may not have a strong other sectors also. So banking is a key for all the industries in a country, and similarly in all the other global, so we have been knowing that now there are some global banks. There are three categories of bank internationally. One is internationally global active banks, and then there are around 30 or 29 in the world. Then there are some internationally active banks, but they're not so big. They're around 150, and then are other local banks across the globe. So this is the motive. The banking industry was a center point or core for the whole of the economic development of a country. So this triggered me to understand in this industry and get my experience in this.
Was anyone in your family also in banking that it kind of helped you and be inspired?
No, actually nobody inspired me, because my father was in Pakistan Navy, and I was the first person to join the banking industry. But once I joined my accountancy, that triggered me, because when I understand the accounting and how the transactions are recorded, and each transaction has a double impact, and debit and credit and all that. So then I saw that although these accounting treatments are being common in all the industries, but its central point is the bank. So let's go to the bank and understand the whole cycle, so that you should be when once you understand the reality, that is itself is a satisfaction, because once you know something, it gives you a sort of inner satisfaction that the ultimate results are produced. This is the effect, but it has a cause which you understand. So that is a satisfaction, which you feel, a sort of, mental satisfaction, intellectual development, and the urge to learn more and learn the most important thing. That is itself is a satisfaction, which I got by practicing my career in the banking.
How does your wife feel about the initial move?
My wife is, my wife is always not happy with me, because when I sit late in the office, so she is keep on calling me again and again, when you will come back. So my wife is not working. She is graduated in the humanities group, but she is not working. But other than that, we are very happy. We go for holidays every year. At least we spend around 20 to 30 days as a holidays without any work. So go somewhere, maybe to the beach, to a highland or somewhere, and then spend time. So that then she become very happy, and then again jump to the office and work for the whole year, and so on and so forth. So this is all. And my children are also good. My daughter has got married last year, and my son is now graduated recently, and now on 28th of July we are going to attend his convocation. He has graduated in the finance. Maybe he will be joining my field, because he did his graduation in the accounting and finance from the University of Buckingham. So we will be traveling to UK and to attend his convocation. So this is my family's interaction with my industry and me.
So they're not very excited about banking.
No, my son is very excited. He is very excited. I thought he will be going into this field. I thought.
Is he older than your daughter? Is he the oldest child?
No, he is the youngest one. My daughter is older, and my daughter also graduated last year from UK, the same university, and then she got a match and knotted the marriage. And so this is the daughter is older than son.
And is her husband into banking?
No, he is engineer. He is electrical engineer. He is working now in Riyadh. If you visit somewhere, you are most welcome. I'm inviting you to be my guest. In the Riyadh, the municipality of Riyadh has been installing the metro train in Riyadh, automatic metro train at a very, with the help of French company. So that my son-in-law has been working as an engineer in that company.
Wow. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And your wife, she doesn't work at all, does she?
She doesn't. She just asked me to work, and then he enjoy with my money.
And you're happy to do that.
Yes.
What else do you think you should tell me before we end this show?
Just I'm very thankful to Rehan and to you also, because you both are conducting activities which is just not directly relating to your business, but it has been helping the community and the humanity, and to become closer to each other by initiating those activities. You have been the source of introducing peace, because as much as communicating the people, and there will be a reduced gap among the international community, that will ultimately results into the assistance, because if we understand each other, we will be happy to live with the differences also, because we understand that if somebody is different from us, he is different on certain, because you can see as one thing from 360 angles. So if somebody is seeing a object from different angle, it does not mean that he's wrong or right. So this is so I will highly appreciate your efforts and Rehan effort. He has been doing a great job by assisting the youth in Pakistan. Particularly, he was helping the youth to connect with the technology, because he is asking them focus on the ultimate objective, which is to become an earning member of the family instead of just getting an education and everybody looking for the job. Just go for that. And I think due to the Rehan and the persons like him, now if you see, the Pakistan has become, I think, second or third in the world with respect to a freelancing country in the world. Plus, a lot of youth has been now engaged in the e-commerce, in the freelancing, in the technology sector. So he has been doing a great job. So I appreciate him and all the acquaintances like you and other colleagues who has been working for this. And I will be happy to part of your community, the Rehan community, or any other forum which has been working for the welfare of the overall humanity and the persons at large.
Thank you. Talking about that, do you feel that Rehan's now working on getting Canva and Fiverr together and making it a big, big deal? Do you feel that this will happen?
Yeah, it has been already happening, because I follow him approximately on daily basis. And today he has arranged a 1-hour session where an expert of Canva has been training the students on the Facebook. And that has been highly appreciated. I saw the comments from the attendees who attended the course. So what he has been doing is a job which actually is the job of the Ministry of Education or Ministry of Employment for the youth, but he has been assisting them. And because now, due to the introduction of technology, the gap between the nations has reduced, because the technology which is being used in USA or UK or Europe, the similar technology has been used in the developing countries also. So when you will be following the same trait, or when you will be following the same courses, then these human resource who is in the developing country can assist the colleagues in the developed countries, and it will create bonding, and it will be mutually beneficial for both them. So it has created dependencies also, profitability also, and the benefit for both of them. So technology has played a great role, and Rehan has been enabling both the communities to work together and join hands for the benefit of all.
And that's sort of what these interviews are about, bringing people together. I will be interviewing a lot of these people who are doing the instruction online in the coming weeks.
Yes.
I'm excited about that, because I will learn how to use Canva and Fiverr and all of that a lot.
Yes.
Do you have any words of wisdom that you would like to leave our audience with?
Yeah, I just request that the greatest emotion which we can extend to others is the understanding. And the understanding can be improved if your communication gap is reduced. So it's inversely proportionate. As much as your communication gap will reduce, the understanding will improve. And when your understanding will improve, your cooperation will improve, your living together will improve. So the reducing the communication gap is the ultimate trigger for improving all other positive attitudes.
Well, when you think about that, it's almost like a horse learning to trot or a horse learning to move. When you begin working together, then all four legs are working together and we move faster.
Perfect.
And with that, I want to thank you for speaking with me today, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I want to thank those who watched. And we're going to wave goodbye after I tell people that this show was sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace one conversation at a time. And I will be back with more interviews later in the week.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Have a great day and great time.
And don't go anywhere.